everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor. Today we've got the sound system demo of the 2022 Acura MDX and its 16-speaker ELS 3D Studio audio system. This is going to be an in-depth review. We're going to take a look at the infotainment system, take a look at audio controls, inputs, speaker locations, Android Auto, and Apple CarPlay. Then we're going to get out on the road and listen to these sample tracks while we're rolling, and I'll give you my thoughts at the end. Now, if you don't care about any of the static stuff, you just want to get to listening to the music, check the chapters in the video. You should be able to skip right on and listen to the music. Before we actually get started, let's hop out and take a quick look at it. Totally redone for 2022, the Acura MDX. Got a lot of good things going about it. No longer just an average run-of-the-mill near luxury SUV. This thing is up near the top of the class now. If you want to see more on the car, I've got some other videos, highway fuel economy test, and sort of a behind-the-wheel review. Just check the links in the description for those. Now, we always do these tests with lossless, uncompressed WAV audio files on a USB stick plugged directly into the system, and high-quality binaural microphones in both of my ears, giving you the most realistic audio system demo on YouTube. We also do the test with the sound settings set to their factory defaults, so let's take a look at those now. No touchscreen here on the MDX, it's all controlled through this touchpad, and it's not a touchpad as you might be used to. No, where you touch on the pad corresponds to the screen, so if I want to go up here to sound, touch right here in the upper right corner, it lights up, and then I push down to actually select. And then you see here you've got bass, mid-range, and treble. Let's go through those now. Outside of that, you also have roof and center volume adjustments. So there's a center speaker here and 4 roof speakers right above our ears. So let's adjust those. Here's roof speakers. Whoops. I'd really like to hear from any current 2022 MDX owners or RDX or TLX to hear if you ever get used to this touchpad, because I know they designed it to be intuitive, but between the delays in the system and the little nuances moving around, sometimes it's really easy to use and sometimes it gets really frustrating. So on top of those, you also have audio zones and balance and fader. So you can either kind of manually just adjust the sound around the car as you want, or you can choose one of these zones and do driver only, so it's only playing out of the driver speaker now. You can do front only or rear only. What else do you have? You also have speed volume compensation, so as you're going faster, the sound will adjust. DTS neural surround. It's a pretty artificial sounding surround mode. Let's do that now. Not my favorite surround setting. Sounds very artificial, so we're going to leave that off for this test. And you also have compressed audio enhancement. That's not going to apply to these because it's not compressed audio, but if you were listening to Sirius XM or lower quality Bluetooth, this would try to bring up some of the edges that were compressed away. We're going to turn that off as well, though. All right, what else do we have here? That's actually it for sound settings. For audio adjustments, you have a really nice volume knob right here. Easy to grab. It's in a good location when you're just kind of resting your hand, so you can turn it up and down real quick, nice clicks on it. You also have up and down volume rocker on the left side of the steering wheel. For track selection, you have a really nice manual adjustment here. You could also use the trackpad and click on the screen, and you can do back and forth on the steering wheel near the volume controls. So really good ways to adjust the sound. For audio inputs, it's weird, there's no like center just audio media hub in the MDX. You have to go home And then you can either do these from these kind of quick tiles that you can adjust and adapt to your use, or you go over to sort of an apps list, if you will. You have AM radio, Bluetooth audio, Apple CarPlay, FM radio, Sirius XM, USB. And that is it. So what does that mean you're missing? Well, you don't have a disc player, no USB-C input, which is really sad for a 2022 redesign. There's a USB-C charging port, so that's good, but no USB data input. And then no 3.5mm auxiliary input jack either. So not the end of the world, but when you're talking high fidelity audio, it would be good to have either an aux input or a CD player, but you've got USB, so you can work with that. For speaker locations, this is a 16 speaker system. So starting in the bottom left, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and a subwoofer in the back left. So we'll do a little listening to the audio from the second and third rows now. I actually like the mixing from the second row a lot. Good amount of bass. And the high mids are calmed down a little bit. Let's try the third row. Super bass heavy back here. It makes sense since that subwoofer is pumping away, but you also get a little bit of sound blasted right at your ears. So third row is not exactly the place for audiophiles, but little kids should be fine back there. Android Auto and Apple CarPlay demos. Let's start with Android Auto because we actually have that phone already paired up and we can do it wirelessly. So, just wait for the phone to get going, connect to Android Auto. Now this is a frustration for me. When you're using Android Auto, you can't use USB audio. So you hear it cut out just a second ago there. Now if I go Android Auto, you can see it nice here. I can play my music from here, and I got my Google Maps. You do still have to use the trackpad, so kind of navigate things that way, so not as intuitive as a touchscreen system. And the resolution's stretched out in kind of a weird way. You still have the Acura screen on the side, and then your Android Auto over here, and go up to there. You got your YouTube music. And what else do you have? You can still use it. Oh, no, just kidding. You can't use the home button. Swipe around and see how long it takes to do things compared to a touchscreen system. And your settings screen. But if I try to go over here to USB audio, it says USB unavailable, use Android Auto to listen to music on the connected phone. So if you wanted to have Android Auto for Waze or something like that, but still listen to your high quality tracks, that's not happening. Let's switch over now to Apple CarPlay. There's only one USB data port, so I gotta take the music out anyway. Put in CarPlay. And there we are, you've got CarPlay brought up. Again, kind of a weird resolution, but it looks fine enough. You gotta swipe around. There's your maps. There's your audio. And if we can get back over there, why isn't it on my settings? There we go. And there's your settings. All right, let's pop the music back in and get on the road. But before we do that, I want to point out one more irk of mine with this car. I'm going to plug the audio in. I'm going to disconnect Android Auto and Apple CarPlay so we can actually get our USB audio running again. So here it's running. Let's shut the car off. Open the door. So this is though we left, we're leaving the car, we're done, we're getting out. Let the seats go back and everything. Now, let's say we just got in the car and we're getting ready to leave. It's first thing in the morning, we want to get our music playing. Oh, okay. Now it really thinks we're gone. So let's get in, start it up. I'm counting how long it takes for the infotainment system to be usable. about 24 seconds before the music starts playing, and you could say put in you would change something or put in a navigation request or something like that. So that's a long time. Also, apparently our brake system's having issues. Anyway, let's get on the road. Showing some of the things the MDX is doing really well and some of the things it's not doing as well. One thing I really appreciate is the power. I'm getting a good mixture of mid-range, hearty bass thumps from the bass drum and the bass guitar. What I'm not loving is the upper mid-range again, coming through a little harsh, not the satisfying high-end crispness paired with the power. So turn it up a little bit more, let you listen a little bit longer. Rather than there being an equal balance among all the songs, all the frequencies, it's clustered in the upper mid-range. Not quite to the part of being harsh, just not perfectly balanced. Now that we're doing highway speeds, let's turn the music down, listen to what the MDX sounds like. A little bit louder in here than I would have expected, but we measured 71 decibels going both directions, averaged out on our not very scientific cell phone decibel reader. This next song, let's turn the bass all the way up, see what that hearty sound that hearty subwoofer in the back can do. I'm happy with how they balanced the subwoofer and back with the lower door woofers. For practical listening, whether it's more kind of rap, hip-hop, R&B, this style music, or it's more just general rock and you're looking to get the bass drum coming through, all the bass sounds tight and well balanced here in the MDX. Wrapping up my thoughts on the 16-speaker ELS 3D Studio system here in the MDX. Impressive, but not the best of Acura's offerings, which surprised me. Typically, mid-size crossover SUVs like this sound the best out of an entire maker's lineup because they can just do so much with the sound stage. You got the big subwoofer in the back. You can create a really satisfying audio experience. I actually like the TLX's system a little better. I expected it. I heard a lot of good things about this one. There's something strange with the front end mixing, a mixture of all these speakers. There's too much on the upper mid-range, and things aren't coming through quite as crisp and well balanced as I would have liked. That being said, it's still a very impressive system. My mind still isn't made up with the whole infotainment. I'm not a big fan of it. That's why I said I'd really like to hear from owners of new Acura systems with this interface. Hear if they've gotten used to it, hear if they prefer it over other systems. I find it to take a lot of steps, even if you know where things are. It still takes a lot of steps. Say I want to go from here to my settings menu. It's 1, 2, 3, because there's a swipe over there. And then I can't even go into the vehicle settings right now because it's locked out, but other settings 4, and then maybe 5 if I wanted to change something in the volume. So there's a lot of steps to get to things, a lot of time taking your eyes off the road, but maybe you get used to that, so I won't factor that in. So for sound quality, objectively speaking, giving this about an 8.5. Subjectively, for the price, compared to the other things in its class, I'd be giving it about an 8. Thank you all so much for watching. If you want to see more on the MDX, check the links in the description, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.